listening to the Cast of Champions on Full Castify, brother. Welcome to the Cast of Champions. This is Mark at BCB Markpedia. How y'all doing?
Robert Slacking Kraken. Sorry for the Gawker audience. I'm not sure what that was about.
Well, we were playing the 8-bit NWO music, so I felt like doing a Hogan voice for a little bit.
You're the only person who thinks NWO and think, oh, great, Hogan. No. All right, so what we got to talk about today?
So I'll do a few more voices eventually, but we're gonna talk about Summerslam a little bit, NXT Takeover, Raw, and a little bit of TNA. Because I'm sorry, this is a wrestling show, so unfortunately we have to talk about the awfulness that is TNA
and SummerSlam.
Oh God, kill me! No, here's what happened on SummerSlam. You opened up the pre-show with a 12-man tag match, which nobody really cares about. God almighty. And then you had El Generico and Pac, a.k.a. Sami Zayn and Neville, go over to Dudley's, which... Enjoy retirement, Dudleys.
They're not retiring, they're going back to the Indies. I've already told you this, sir.
I was doing that to be sarcastic a little bit and and just to play to people. Had Sheamus defeat Cesaro in the first of the best of 7.
Which apparently has a title shot on the line, so that should become interesting.
I hope so. Cesaro deserves it, man.
He does.
I thought they should have had him in the Universal title match anyway, but we'll get to that later. Next, you had Team Jericho going over, I call them Team Soft. You know, Enzo and Big Cass. I
think it was a smart move. KO deserves to get pushed up, so I'm happy they went with that.
I'm okay with it. I still think I wanted to still see Big Cass beat up Jericho though, because I hate to say this. Still, Enzo, I hope, will get lost in the shuffle in this case.
Nah, Enzo's going to be around. You're not getting rid of him. He's like a cockroach.
In a nuclear war?
A couple of them.
Then you had Charlotte going over Sasha Banks with an injury, obviously.
Yeah, but it's not surgery. She's going to have to be out for a couple months. Rest her back. Charlotte did not help her back in the match, but at least, we had it was a decent match, and, Sasha will be back. We will have the boss sooner than later.
Hope so. Then you had The Miz going over Apollo Crews in a very badly done feud. I'm not real pleased with this feud.
Yeah, they don't seem like they have a lot of faith in Crews. He has the ability, but his lack of mic skills, he comes over extremely green.
They called him up too early. That's the only problem with Crews.
Yeah,
I actually liked him, but... his mic skills do leave a little to be desired.
He was definitely different on the Indies. He really shows how green he is on the WWE stage.
And then the match tonight. AJ Styles going over John Cena. That was match of the night. John Cena can go, and so can Styles. They both, for a couple of guys whose combined age is like 77 or 78.
Why would you even want to count that?
They put on a great show, those two.
Yeah, well, Styles is a world class, and Cena still got some left in him, and they really clicked. And I'm happy to see Cena not bury someone on the pay-per-view. It's been a long time.
AJ Styles, I think, is somebody that's a little too big for Cena to bury at this stage.
Well, that's what it's good to hear.
Just when I say that, I mean, like, he's too big, like, a name internationally and a name
That's never stopped him before.
Yeah, but there's a big difference. AJ Styles is way above a lot of those guys, though, too.
So you're saying he's above Bray Wyatt?
Well, at this stage in his career, Wyatt was just barely in WWE when Cena did that. There's a difference. AJ Styles has been around for 15 daggum years.
Yeah.
For 15, 16 years.
Yeah, true. I just couldn't help but say it.
I know. And I am a huge fan of the Wyatts, and I hope they get the massive push. But we'll get to that in a second. The Bullet Club and the New Day did not like that finish at all.
Yeah, they just wanted the faces to go over strong with Big E's fantastic return after, getting his nuts crushed.
His ring postitis.
Yeah.
God. Love you, Bullet Club.
Yeah, the Ambrose Ziggler match.
It sucked.
I knew it would.
Terrible. Ambrose is not very good as a worker to me.
He hasn't shown much since he's been the champion. I don't know what's going on, but he's really, I don't know if it's just the stress, he just can't handle it, but he's been botching well.
All right.
But he's overwhelmed with that title and everything going on. I just don't think he can handle it.
He's not a champion. And then, to me...
Well, he was a good CZW champion, but that required barbed wire, glass, and a table on fire. So maybe he just needs that.
CZW is different.
Yeah, PG Pillman, I think it's too early for him to have a title run. I think Roman is a better champion.
Yeah, and that's sad. That is sad.
I'd rather see Roman have the title again than Dean Ambrose.
I mean, next up, you had the SmackDown Women's match, which was the return of Nikki Bella.
Yeah, I'd rather send the Red Queen wrestle. John Cena needs to keep that behind locked doors because, no one wants to see her.
Well, not a lot of people want to see Eva Marie either.
She at least looks better.
Well, yeah, I gotta give you that. She's at least good to look at. You had Fergal Devitt, a.k.a. Finn Balor, go over Tyler Black, a.k.a. Seth Rollins, which I thought was bad booking.
It was. I don't know if they just really wanted to throw Roman Reigns out of title contention because it totally eliminated it, even though with the barrier bomb, hurt Devitt in the end. And, I really think they should cancel that move out because it's hurt two people. And it was not a clean throw. He was thrown at an ankle.
Curb stop is safer.
It is, but with injuries to the skull and concussions, they had to get rid of that. Same thing with, the running kick to the head Orton did.
Can we please give old boy his Phoenix Splash back?
Yeah. Well, he botched it the last couple times. That's why.
Ooh.
He has not pulled that off in a while. That's why they got taken away.
Well, he's got an ACL issue now. He's had an ACL issue now.
Well, I mean, he was carrying the company on his shoulders and his knee buckled, so.
Yeah, he was carrying corporate cane on his shoulders.
Actually, it was a backflip off the back and knee buckled. I remember seeing that video in the
I did. I was saying it was corporate cane who was the opponent of the match. Rusev and Reigns, the match that never happened.
Yeah, I have anger issues. Raw.
And
what was the point?
Daggum Rusev actually getting hurt.
Yeah, I wish I cared more.
Yeah, and then I try not to swear on this podcast. I try not to swear very much on this podcast, but the bull that was the Lesnar Orton match.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty bad. I really think Lesnar should not be allowed to wrestle. He hurt Undertaker at WrestleMania a couple years ago. He legitimately hurt Orton. I don't care if they say it was, it was a shoot, it was this or whatever. The fact is that you have Chris Jericho going after him in the back after the match because
PSAs can't give people straight answers about it.
It's not. He's not a safe worker, but he wants to get mad at Strowman for not,
for stiffing him at the Royal.
Oh. But he wants to throw legit elbows and crack someone's skull open.
Does he not realize, for one, at the Royal Rumble, when Strowman was no-selling him, does he not realize Strowman's 100 pounds bigger than him and could probably whoop his ass?
Yeah.
And then number two, do you really expect the guy that's 400 pounds to sell for you?
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. I'm just using that as an example.
Yeah, and then the same thing with Orton. From what I heard, that was not a work. He went into business for himself, and he was stiffing Orton the entire match.
Yeah, he was upset about the drug failed tests and stuff like that. He was upset some of the comments that were not supposed to be said, but Orton went ahead and did it. And we'll never know the truth. It's just like Heyman came out and said, Lesnar went into business for himself with Undertaker, and that's why he took the streak. Heyman threw that out there just to mess with people, but the fact is it's a possibility.
Yeah.
I mean, you could tell he had a concussion. No one cared to stop the match.
Yeah.
Continued, and then he had to go to the hospital.
They said Randy Orton was almost knocked out at one point before he even started.
Yeah, that's my point. Lesnar should not be wrestling people. He needs to stop the wrestling. He's not safe. Yeah. Every person he touches gets sent to the hospital. Legit.
Yeah, and he wasn't Puroresu stiff. He went beyond Puroresu stiff, and that's
he
that's
went redneck at a bar going after his cousin stiff. That's my third cousin. That's what that man did to Randy Orton.
And from what I heard, it screwed up another plan, too. They were originally, from what I heard, planning on having Wyatt interfere with the match, but they had to cut it.
Yep.
Because of Lesnar being a dumbass.
Yeah, that's the one thing we never got legit story on, but that was the rumor. But, I mean, that was the pay-per-view. It was not a very good pay-per-view, but I can't remember the last SummerSlam that was good past 1999. So.
Review, grade, C-. And I only give it a C- because of the Styles Cena match.
Yeah, I'll go with that. C- just because of that match. I mean, overall, everyone worked pretty well. They tried their best, but storylines failed miserably.
Exactly.
I think this brand split's not coming off well because the writing's horrible.
The SmackDown storylines are better, but they weren't given the time to shine at SummerSlam.
No, but they're supposed to be actually doing separate pay-per-views again, so we'll see how that goes.
Backlash is supposed to be the next one in September.
Yes, I'm happy they're bringing that back.
So the next one, and the better show of the weekend, NXT TakeOver.
I was actually shocked with the Aries No Way Jose match. No Way Jose shocked me. I didn't think he could put on that caliber of a match. I think the right man went over.
Before he came over to NXT, he was a Dominican worker that was working for Carlos Colon in Puerto Rico. Yeah. So he's got a few skills, and he's a big guy.
I just do not like the character.
Nobody likes the gimmick. Mm-hmm. And then Aries, after the win, Kenta, or Hideo Itami as they're wanting to call him now.
GTS, I'm so excited.
Yeah, but unfortunately Aries suffered a ruptured eardrum.
Yeah, I think he leaned too hard into the knee. That's what it sounds like to me. Because people want to, sell that move, especially when it's his first time doing it on TV for WWE. Yeah. He wanted to oversell it, and I think that's what it is, because that man's been doing the GTS for 20 years, some crazy number like that.
Like 15, 20 years. CM Punk basically copied his entire moveset and brought it over.
Yeah, but CM Punk is the man. I'll always be a CM Punk fan, even when he gets destroyed in UFC, which... People care. YouTube has episode 1 of his start of career in UFC. It's really good. AJ Lee's on it. It's a different side. If people are a fan or not a fan, it's a good thing to watch, about 25 minutes. But what was the next match?
The next match, you had the debut of Athena, a.k.a. Ember Moon now.
Awesome
going
match.
against Jessie McKay, better known as Billie Kay to the NXT audience, but Jessie McKay to the Shimmer.
I call her the non-white hair Sindel. Because that outfit just reminds me of Sindel from Mortal Kombat 3 all day long.
Speaking of Jessie McKay, I actually saw footage of an old match of her versus Casey Cassidy on the Australian independent circuit. Casey Cassidy now going by Peyton Royce.
Was it Kangaroo Championship Wrestling?
Something like that. And here's the thing about Jessie McKay is a student of Madison Eagles, who was a student of Claudio Castagnoli. So, in other words, indirectly, that's a Castagnoli.
Even worked with Castagnoli, probably worked with Quackenbush and Hero, because they were training pretty much the same people.
They were billing her as from your boyfriend's wildest dreams.
Wow. And
that's what
Athena,
she's a good heel. Yeah,
Ember Moon, I love the contact she had, and because we saw her at the NXT live show, and that crazy stunner looked so much. Yeah. They really perfected it for the pay-per-view.
And Billie Kay sold it real well, too.
Yeah, she did. I mean,
they're both very good workers.
Cena wishes he could pull that stunner off, because that was insane how she pulled it off. That is an awesome move.
A well-worked women's match, and they said they were, from what I heard from a lot of people backstage, those are probably the next 2 people that will take on Asuka.
No doubt. I think Athena might take the title when she goes up to the main roster.
Yeah, because Athena's supposed to be the next face, and Billie Kay is a natural heel.
Ember Moon against Asuka would be awesome.
Yeah, and Billie Kay is a very natural heel.
Mm-hmm.
She has played heel pretty much her entire career. Next match,
glorious Bobby Roode
versus Cien Almas, a.k.a. if you watch CMLL, La Sombra.
I liked it. It was an old school match where you had the luchador against the gritty,
Southern man
wrestler. I think it was a good match. They both told a story very well. I think
the crowd response so for La Sombra disappoints me.
Well, La Sombra, I think he felt he had to pull back a lot. And I don't think he needed to. I think there was a miscommunication on what the match should have been, because you could tell compared to what he's done in the past, he was not wrestling the same. He was wrestling a different pace, and Bobby Roode can keep up with that pace, but he was not given the opportunity, and I think that's what they failed in this match.
Yeah. Next one, and this to me, other than the next match, this of the men's matches was the match of the night. The Revival taking on Gargano and Ciampa.
Yes, that was.
You know how I feel about the Revival.
The Revival needs to be a main roster. My problem is, I think they're going to have the same problem Ascension and other teams have had. Not because of who they are, but it's the fact that they're going to have to build a certain way. That I don't know how that's going to affect the main roster. SmackDown's a definite, but the lackluster talent they have on tag teams on SmackDown is not fair to the Revival. Where Raw, they're going to get lost in the shuffle.
I don't think so. I think they're good enough, wrestlers.
I think they deserve to take the titles off the New Day. Yeah, it works. It works on NXT, but I'm talking about the Brownie Rollins. You have 6-year-olds to 80-year-olds that have to get behind it. And they're going to have to show something, and they're going to have people that can stand in the ring with them and on the mic. And honestly, there's no one really on the main roster that can
keep up with them on the mic or in the ring.
That maybe. They're not going to be buried by it just because. Because the Club and the Revival, I think, will be an awesome match. Yeah. But the Club needs to be built better up than what they are now for that to really mean anything. Uh-huh. And the New Day, of course, is going to go over because they're still trying to make money off of Bootios, so they're going to have to go over. So I think they're going to have to take some more time to really figure out where the direction they want to go with them. Asuka and Bayley, to me, was the match of the night.
That's what I was about to say. That was definitely the match of the night, but before that was the nail.
Yeah, the psychology of the match alone. People need to study the tape. Everyone on this card for SummerSlam needs to watch the Bayley-Asuka match and go, this is what you need to aspire to. Even the styles of...
Those were the two best. Those were the two best ring psychology matches of the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, the moves, what they were able to do in that match, the ending where Asuka took the time. Because the entire time she was, I'm better than you. She took the time to acknowledge Bayley at the end of, you are awesome. You are someone that I, care for, which she's never done since being there. So that really built up both of them at the end.
We'll get to Bayley more in a little bit. Yeah. But the next one, you had Nakamura and Samoa Joe for the NXT title. Unfortunately, Joe, ended up with a dislocated jaw.
Yeah, he got kneed in the face and dislocated his jaw, popped it in and finished the match from what I understand. I love the match.
Glad to see Nakamura go over because, I love Nakamura.
One of my favorite things was the interview they did before, the last show before the pay-per-view, where Joe brought up, you came to my dojo. And Nakamura said, I don't remember you ever being in a dojo. I loved it because it built something where Joe really felt disrespected on a whole nother level because he was able to carry the whole interview because Nakamura's English isn't the best and his character style is where he's basically Jack Sparrow but a wrestler where he's just, goofy on the mic. He knows he's better than you and he doesn't have to say it. So Joe took that extra step to go where we don't need to talk anymore because you disrespected me, which made that interview go over. That's why Joe deserves main roster just because he understands people's limitations and he can extenuate stuff that isn't there.
From what I heard, he was supposed to make an appearance on Raw last night, but the jaw.
Hopefully soon. I mean, they need it now that Devitt's out for at least 6 months, I believe.
Yeah, that was NXT Takeover for you. And speaking of Raw, started off Raw with Fergal Devitt, Finn Balor having to give up the title.
I really liked his speech. I mean, it was cliche to a point, but he made sure to acknowledge everyone, even, Tyler Black or whatever you want to call him.
Seth Rollins, Tyler Black.
Call him Tyler Black. I forget his name now, Rollins. And I love the end where Rollins came out and looked at him with a disrespectful look, and they actually built that to come back of, I'm coming for you no matter if you got the title or not because you disrespected me when I respected you. I enjoyed that. That's one of the main things I enjoyed on Raw, sad enough. It was very minimal.
And then they brought out a whole bunch of people at the end of that.
Yeah, well, they had to write a show in 6 hours because they didn't get notification that he couldn't wrestle until a couple hours before the showing began. It's like, okay, who wants to wrestle for the title? For what they're able to do, I think, the Sami Zayn Rollins match was good to an extent. I did not like the overselling of the hurt ankle.
Yeah,
but I mean, he sold it well. I just don't think it was necessary. I think they could have had a better match without it.
And then Kevin Steen or Kevin Owens and
they wrestled in PWG and other places, so they were put on a great match. I wish there had been more story with it.
And more time.
Big Cass shocked me. He was even a part of it, honestly, but I know why.
I'm glad, because he's earned his push.
But it was smart not to hurt Rusev or Kaz, because it still built Kaz as, I'm a monster, and and Rusev, I'm hurt. I'm not going to get hurt for this. I'm the U.S. champion. It builds credit to the U.S. championship, because he knows he's a champion, and he feels that championship means more, which builds credibility, even as minimal as it is. I really think they need to revamp the title, because it really looks like a bad beer can to me.
I seriously, my thoughts on Rusev. I seriously think he's one of the most underrated guys they have.
If they would let him have better mic skills, I know he has capability. I've heard him on the mic. I hate the angry Hulk Russian.
Because on the mic, he's actually
If he was more of a Damian Sandow with his aggression, he would draw so much more.
Speaking of Damian Sandow, we'll get to his moronic behind later.
Yeah.
Next up, you had Reigns and Jericho, which was the main event.
Yeah. I mean, Reigns is a good worker. I think the ending where he did like the back roll into the spear, I think was a good spot. I don't think Jericho or him had to carry the match. I just think it was really. I don't think Reigns deserves to be in the title picture again. He hasn't proven himself.
He deserved to be in the title picture, but
I think he belongs in the mid card until he can really build himself to. I mean, I understand. He has heat, but it's heat because
people actually don't want to see him.
Because he has a lot of ability, but the mic skills aren't there, and he has kind of a Goldberg feel because he doesn't really change anything up. The next move coming way before it happens, and it's dull. That's not what wrestling is nowadays. Until he can really reinvent himself besides growing a beard, I think he really needs to do something else, and I really hope they do not put him with the title again. And honestly, at this point, I don't think Rollins needs to have a title. I really think they need to have someone else with the title. I would love to have Kevin Owens with the title, but I really think it's going to be
on either Rollins or Reigns.
I have to choose between Rollins and Reigns, I'm going to choose Rollins.
I'd rather have Rollins
because he's a better heel, and the
Universal title is very ugly.
It's like, did they get a buy two, get one free? Because you have the women's title that's white, the Universal that's red, and then you have the Heavyweight Championship. I'm really waiting to see the tag titles change. I mean, right now it's like a beginning of a website. You have www. It's just generic. I mean, it's horrible. And I understand they have the little two side plates that make it their own.
It's WWE.
But it's so generic, it's really hard to classify as a championship. How are you supposed to actually build a title up that looks so bad? I mean, I know a lot of people heard about Mick Foley, and Seth Rollins get really upset because of people going off about the title.
And Rollins.
They both got really, really upset about it. I understand their standpoint, and I do agree the crowd should have left it for afterwards and not trying to destroy the match over the look of the title.
Can we please not let the title look like a glorified weightlifting belt?
It really does. It looks like something John Cena puts in on his garage. It really does. Which he probably does. Because he probably has, 5 of them in a case or something? It's insane.
Well, he's lifted 545s on each side.
But, I mean, you still have Braun Strowman doing...
Braun Strowman against whatever random jobber they have.
I don't know. Are they, straight out called him gay because he likes sweaty men? I mean, that was awkward. What was the point? He literally goes, I'm here because I like strong, sweaty men. This is literally what the man says before he gets choked.
That was not even a joke.
Yeah, that's literally what he says. And I'm like, okay, so...
Okay, yeah, that sounded really, really gay.
I think it's not even that. It's like, what's the point of that? I mean, you have Darren Young, who is homosexual, who's not portrayed as that, and I think that's correct. I mean, you can have homosexual characters, but to say that before a match... I think it's bad taste.
I think Titus O'Neil basically buried him anyway, in the card.
He buried himself with the whole spiel on the mic. I mean, he needs to go back. I don't know if OVW is even around, but he needs to go back there. I don't care. He needs to go there and pretend it is because he has no mic skills and it was horrible. Bob Backlund saved him. Honestly, Bob Backlund running down there with his walker. which honestly was one of the best spots of the night, which is sad enough.
Bob Backlund trying the chicken wing crossface.
I actually almost marked out. I was like, he's holding the chicken wing on. I was excited. I'm a Backlund fan. I always will be.
Bob Backlund.
When he dies, I will have the red bow tie on. I know I will.
Yes, sir.
And then you have the Dudleys, they're leaving WWE.
Yeah.
Corner Tommy Dreamer, they're not done. It's just they were not able to reach an agreement. I'm assuming it might have been money and probably creativity, because I know that Bubba really wanted to go single, and he deserves a single run.
Devon's near retirement.
Devon's retired in TNA, then came back because of the behest of Bubba.
Because of the behest of Mark LaMonaco did Devon Hughes.
Yeah. So, it's just... I think it was smart. They come back and they let him have a singles run because he could really put money on the company.
TNA, that Aces and Eights run in TNA showed
I think that's
he can
one
draw.
of the issues where Vince McMahon's, I don't want to use someone else's storyline idea. I know that you're a great heel, but people are going to compare it to TNA, and I don't want that. And that's not fair to him because, honestly, he didn't get a fair run in TNA even though he was the top heel.
Yeah, and then the Big E going over Carl Anderson. I was not very happy at that match. I thought it seemed like a burial, the Mike deal in the match.
Well, I think it was the way they did it because it was a hectic spot where you had Gallows go out on the outside, then randomly he gets the big ending. You had to have him go over because it's his first match back on Raw. You have to have the faces going because it's the big 3-6-5 for the title reign.
Yeah, but it felt like the way the mic skills and all that were portrayed, the way the wording was on the mic and all that.
Oh yeah, it was a bad spot on the mic, but then you still have the club go big over on the Dudleys, which was smart because it built him as a heel, but they still have a long way to go.
But one of the best parts of Raw, the debut of Bayley.
Yes, I was very excited at that, and it was smart to get her into the title picture. My wife said, "Oh, I love her tights." I'm like, "That's great. At least you like something on wrestling." And I think that's smart,
Dana
right?
Brooke. Yeah. And Dana Brooke actually didn't look too horrible in that.
That's because Bayley knows how to carry people, which she's never had that opportunity with Dana. Dana Brooke's never had the opportunity to go, "Hey, I can carry you in these spots. Would you like me to do it?" "Oh, God, please do it." And that's why she was able to pull off a decent match, and just Bayley carried her. If you watch the match over, you can see Bayley call spots, you can see her carry her through certain things, and it made the match great. Bayley got called up thanks to Sasha getting injured, and I really cannot wait to see the 4 horsewomen going toe-to-toe. But it's really balanced the loss of Finn a little because you have a great face, and I'm not trying to say that she's going to replace the face of Raw, but I think she's really going to be able to be all over the place. Just because she's in the women's title picture, they can have her on other spots of the show because she's so well loved and she has such a great personality. It can really convey in a lot of situations.
I don't always like the character, but she's good at what she does.
The character's grown at me. I hate the scrunchie, but she reminds me of Eugene meets Macho Man.
Macho Man.
Because she has the tassel, she has the jacket, she has the ability, but her personality reminds me of Eugene. She's like the cute tax write-off everyone wants to be around. But I love Bayley. I don't mean it in a bad way.
We love Bayley. By the way,
she
on
can kick
Cast
my
of
ass any day of
Champions.
the week any way she wants. But then we go to the redheaded stepchild
of wrestling.
TNA.
Oh God, kill me. You started out with Lashley and Sandow or Aaron Rex, as they're calling him now, having a segment with the management.
Yeah.
Shoot me.
I really think he's going to end up regretting his time in TNA, just like every talent does. I really think they promised him a lot, and it's going to fail miserably.
The next segment had James Storm with Corgan, which...
James Storm had to,
Corgan.
Yeah, well, James Storm had to carry the whole segment. Corgan does not deserve to be on TV. I understand he was a booker, and he did it for a couple of years on the Independents.
And he's a very good booker. He's just not somebody that...
He's not Paul Heyman. I mean, Dixie Carter would have had a better segment than him. Hogan, Eric Bischoff, I think they're
forcing him to be on camera. And by forcing him, I mean like Pop TV is saying, hey, we want you on camera. That's what I think is happening.
What they need to do is have someone else on the mic. They can do that. They can have Corbin out there, but then they can have
like Al Snow or somebody like that.
Exactly. Al Snow would be perfect. You have the
or even bring
management
Joey Styles.
Joey Styles was released due to his comments about WWE and their booking. He was fired the very next day, and even said on there, "I might be fired for this." LOL. Well, guess what, Joey? You were, and you deserve better because everything you said was true. But James Storm, I really hope he comes back to NXT because you can have
beer money. Root beer money. Next up, you had Moose and the Miracle, but you had Moose go over Edwards.
And Edwards had to carry the match.
Because Moose is so daggum green. I'm sorry, Quinn Ojanaka, please get your retired football behind out of wrestling. Dear God.
Most retired football players go there eventually. And then, Gail Kim had a bad match. I'm botching almost as much as she did.
Yeah, Gail Kim. And then they brought Sienna out to basically beat the hell out of both of them. So
yeah, because they had to do something to try to save the train wreck.
Yeah, and then they had like a 4-man match for like the number 1 contender, I guess, for the X Division title.
The only person
DJZ over Rockstar Spud, Braxton Sutter, and Mandrews.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of him. I mean, the only person I'm a fan of, honestly, is Spud.
Zema Ion. I do like Zema Ion.
I like him to an extent. I hate his character now. If they would let him do... He really needs to change his character. I really think it holds him back, personally. I watched a documentary. It was an independent documentary where he was the main focus, and I became a big fan off of that because he introduced his mom, his love for professional wrestling. So I'm a fan of the wrestler,
and he's
just
still
not the
only like 29. He's still a young guy. But Mandrews, really?
Yeah.
Are we really talking about Mandrews?
Yeah, then you have EC3, Galloway.
And Aaron Rex having a segment.
Yeah, I mean, it was... Eli Drake defeated Shira. I mean, it was just really...
But before that, they had Lashley and Eli Drake do a segment where basically Lashley said he was nothing to him, basically.
I mean, it really feels TNA so desperate for Matt Hardy to get over. They damaged the card just for people to go, well, I guess the Hardy segment wasn't that bad. I mean, that's what it really feels. I mean, I won't even DVR the show because I feel like I might be buying into the storyline when I hit delete. So I won't even DVR it. I can't.
Let's just put it this way. The Hardys need to fade away.
Do not say
and classify themselves as obsolete. I said themselves.
Yeah, you're still buying into the storyline. I mean, when you sound like
it's his song. So
well, I understand, but when your character sounds like a British drunk and you're American, and you think you're going to get over with this,
well, surprisingly, he has it with their audience. But
their
audience is a bunch of retards.
I hear them cut the mics on the crowd. I hear them do a lot of things. I think they're making it look like it's over. But when the tickets are free and people have nothing better to do but get out of the heat, people are going to be there. I mean, that's why it worked for WCW for years. Why wouldn't it work for TNA?
The most over thing in TNA is EC3, and good lord.
Yeah, he deserves so much better. Galloway and EC3,
they're being
they're big fish in a small pond, and it shows every week.
In the case of the Hardys, they had the main event was the Hardys going over the Tribunal, which is basically Sylvester Lafort and Marcus Lewis from NXT.
Yeah, no one cared about them in NXT.
Al Snow.
Al Snow's a good draw, though. I like him as a manager.
The Helms Dynasty, which is Andrew Everett and Trevor Lee with Shane Helms as their manager.
Which is smart.
Or Gregory Shane Helms.
The Carolina Caveman, as some people know him by. Andrew Everett and him had a lot of good independent dates. Yeah, they have a lot. They have a really good feud on the Indies. If you're a fan of either one of them as a tag team, you should look them up on YouTube. Some great stuff. PWG and the Independents of the South Carolina. I'm a big fan of both of them.
And of course, the redheaded stepchild of the tag team division in TNA. The Bromance.
You want to do a fist pump one time?
No, not over that.
And that's TNA. It's like I went to my garage and saw two kids fighting on a mattress. is what TNA is turning into.
It really is. It's that bad.
It's turned into backyard wrestling, but you have Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins. I mean, it's like I just don't know what they.
It's like watching RCW, but with better production.
I wouldn't call it better production because you have what's the girl's name from Decay?
Rosemary?
Video. Yeah, I remember TNA, if they did a video visionette of anything, it was movie quality. Now it's like a shaky cam, and you literally tell they rented someone's house because they're outside smoking, tapping their wrists like, you didn't pay me enough for this shit.
And you got daggone, it's like they're trying to create like the Bray Wyatt deal, but the problem is,
it's not like the Bray Wyatt deal. They're doing like Daphne and WCW is what they're doing.
Yeah.
It does not have a Wyatt feel at all. It has, I'm a crazy chick, but she can't wrestle, so she doesn't have the Daphne feel that was really needed for it. But it really feels like Crazy Daphne, the Flock kind of vibe, but really underutilized.
I was saying like the whole like vignette style they were going for, almost like the backwoodsy.
I mean, I didn't really get that because it doesn't have that vibe. It doesn't have that eeriness. It just had, this is where I grew up, and I used to be a good girl until I fell on a tree and I started talking to
I'm
a
an
tree.
emo chick.
Yeah.
Kill me.
She's a cutter. She's a cutter. Real life, fake life, I don't care. She's a cutter.
And then, apparently Eva Marie's suspension, by the way, in the news, Eva Marie's suspension was legit.
Yes, for Adderall, she did not present paperwork in a timely manner. Albert Del Rito, they haven't released what he was on, but I know Paige's girlfriend was on a different substance. He is going through a divorce now, pretty messy divorce.
Yes, very messy one.
Supposedly not Paige's fault, but a lot of people feel it is. You have, the pale escort. But, I mean, it's him. I don't care. But he's apparently leaving. Paige has a couple-year contract, and she said she's not going anywhere. So see if they stay together.
They're going to fire her if she keeps that crap up.
She might have to jump on that burrito from long distance. You never know.
The burrito.
But we got any other topics, man?
Well, SmackDown is tonight. SmackDown's tonight. We're going to hopefully be watching that soon, and hopefully it's a better show.
Yeah, but we also got a new Twitter going, Cast of Champions, so check us out there. We got some stuff hitting that very soon.
Yep.
And, we got SmackDown coming up, and then now I'm assuming that's going to run
NXT and CWC tomorrow.
Yeah, CWC is going to be awesome. You got Lindsay Dorado back against Swan. They're going to...
Oh, that's...
I'm pretty sure that's going to put Swan back on TV, without a doubt.
Dude. Amazing. That's probably the one that was the match I was looking forward to of the second round matches.
Kabushi said he did not sign a contract. He's going back to Japan.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
So hopefully Cedric will get that contract.
Oh, I hope so, because Cedric Alexander earned that.
Most definitely. I know we talked about it in the last podcast, but I think that's it this week, man.
Yep. Of course, you just heard. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Cast of Champions. Our webmaster and producer, Clay, would love to hear from you, for sure, and so would we. Also, you can follow the Bold Castified channel on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
And coming soon, YouTube.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get a YouTube channel coming up soon here, guys. Of course, our webmaster and great producer is getting on that as quickly as possible.
We'll see how it goes.
We'll see our ugly mugs, if you want to or not.
But it's Cast of Champions, but of is with a 0.
Yep. Keyword there, or key number, 0.
So,
yeah.
follow.
Cast of with a 0 instead of an O, Champions.
Yep.
All right.
For our Spanish-speaking audience, that would be a 0.
Yes.
Yeah.
Since we are a wrestling podcast,
right.
and we do love the lucha lifestyle as well.
This is Slack and Kraken. Robert signing out.
And this is Mark at BCB Markpedia. Hope y'all have a good night, and follow the buzzards.
You've been listening to the Bold Castified Radio Network.